Hey, so I'm trying to organize my thoughts about what I have to say right now. I'm like always pulling over because driving for me is so meditative. I have these thoughts about things, things like click into place and make sense. And I think you will know if this video is speaking to you or not. It's not meant to be insulting in any way, but the message that I feel compelled to deliver is that at some point you're going to have to get a life. You're going to have to get interested in yourself. And unfortunately, this isn't something people, I think, want to hear, especially if they don't feel great about themselves and they're chasing after outside objects that they think are going to fix them. I think a lot of people are doing this even if they don't realize, they might hear those words and be like, well, I'm not looking for something to fix me, or, I don't have any problems with myself or whatever. But I think if you're chasing certain things, relationships with people that you think are going to complete you, or achievements or money, things like that, that you think are they're kind of like the missing piece. Anything that seems like the missing piece, I think, is an illusion. Because when you get it, you're still here. It doesn't change anything. Nothing outside of you changes anything. When you get I think there was even a study done about this, that in the United States, that when you make over $75,000 a year, there's essentially no benefit beyond that. So 75, and this was maybe old, so maybe it's 100,000 now, but once you get past a certain comfort level with money, money doesn't do anything for you. I can attest to this for sure. I hit my maximum money happy level, like, I don't know how many years ago. I can buy whatever I want. I can afford anything I want. I can't comfortably buy a house that's worth a couple $1,000,000 where I would like to buy one. I don't want that, but if I did, I would like to have a deeded lakefront property in Lake Forest, Illinois. I can't really afford that. I could afford it, but it's not a comfortable idea to me. You know what I mean? I'm not at some maximum comfort level where I could just buy anything. But anything that I actually want, I can have. I own the place I live outright. I literally buy anything I want. So once I hit that level, which was a long time ago, there was really nothing beyond that with me for money. There's just accumulation and getting to a point where I don't have to work at all. Which I'm practically at now because of coronavirus. So if you're chasing after money, at some point, you will achieve your financial goal, and then you'll either continue to chase money thinking it's going to give you something it's not, or you're going to hit the point I'm talking about, where you simply have to get a life. You simply have to get interested in you and things you want to do. And this can be a very uncomfortable place to be. Most people, I think, get to that place and then they just automatically start chasing something else because they can't stand to be alone with themselves for 1 second, which is, I think, where the self-exploration and self-worth stuff comes into play. You can be a master at creating things, and if you despise yourself, if you have a self-loathing thing, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be peaceful. You're not going to really, I think, get it about what the point of this whole thing is, which is the bliss of the moment. It's nearly impossible to feel that bliss in the moment if you haven't righted the things that are wrong and that are causing you to chase things. And I specifically wanted to mention this about relationships because that's the one area where I can firsthand tell you that up until not even a year ago, I was still thinking that my life would not be complete. I was still thinking that when I found the right kind of relationship with the right person, that all of a sudden my life would be full of happiness and peace, and that, I would cross these other bridges when I came to them at some point later, at some later point, whenever that would be. And I'm in an amazing blessing. In December, I had kind of an awakening, sort of a download of insight during which I realized, one, that the relationship was not going to serve that function. And instantly, I knew, one, that it wasn't going to serve that function, and two, that I could create the thing that I wanted now, that was available, now that I understood that it wasn't going to give me that thing. And that, two, like, I had to, I don't want to say had to, that now this whole other realm of living and experiencing was available. Because if you realize that you're not going to get peace or self-worth or fulfillment from outside things, then, I mean, the other side of that coin is that everything that will give that to you is within you. And that's where the whole world of possibilities opens up. And that's what I'm talking about when I say you're going to have to get a life. Neville talks about dropping the seed after you create something, and you'll see everywhere, don't think about it, think about something else. When you are manifesting something, right? You do the work, you plant the seed, you drop the seed and move on. You let it, you don't let the desire go or whatever. You don't let it go, but you let it go. As in, you don't obsess about it and think about it all the time. And here's the thing, when you have the things you want, you don't think about them all the time, which is kind of the idea, right? If you take on the state of having something and you're living in the end of having it, part of that would be that you don't think about it all the time, because when you have something, it's not on your mind all the time. When you're in a relationship with somebody you love, whether or not they're going to call you, or it's just a given, it's not something that your mind goes to whatever your worries are. Your mind goes to whatever the problem is in your life at that time, or whatever you're thinking about. Same thing with, anything else you're trying to achieve. You don't obsess about when you're going to be successful if you're successful. You don't even think about it. I can tell you that firsthand. I literally spend no time thinking about my business. I don't spend time thinking about money. Obviously, why would I? I know that it's there. I know that I can buy what I want. I don't think about it. And the way I think, when you want something and you don't have it, the way that you get to that mentality is simply understanding that once you do have it, and you will get it, you have to believe and be certain that you will get it. Once you get it, it's not going to be on your mind, and it doesn't need to be on your mind now. So what will you do once you have everything you want? What will you do with yourself when you get the outside things that you're trying to get? I don't think there's anything wrong with getting ego-driven things. That's the place a lot of people start. And then they get them, and they don't get what they want from them. What do you do then? You do some drugs, do a little drinking, try to numb the void, or you deal with it. You deal with yourself. You get to know yourself. You explore the areas of your psyche that are fucked up, and you do your best to change them and get to a point where you're happy with you, and where you're happy with existing right now in the present. And then what? I don't know, you do the things you like, you get a life. You make a list of the things you want to do, and you start doing them. You think about other things. You have things to think about outside of your specific person, or your bank balance, or your body, or whatever your thing is. I just named my big three. I bring this up because it's something I've recently experienced, just kind of going through the change of that. I was thinking, what did I used to think about all the time? I obsessed about my body, obsessed about it daily, all day, until I finally got it, in the general vicinity of where I wanted to go. Still working on that. But once I got it to a point where I don't think about my body almost at all. Then I started obsessing about, I got to find the right person. That's the thing that's missing. That's the only thing left. That's the only thing that will give my life meaning. you know, once I got past that, I don't think about that almost at all anymore. Like it crosses my mind daily, but it's just not on my mind. And I was just driving and I was thinking about all the things I want to do. There's just a bunch of crap I want to do right now, and then there are other things like longer term goals and things I want to do, and just, you know, understanding that the possibilities are endless and that I can pretty much do what I want. My mind wanders all over about all the different things that I might be able to experience. I don't think I could do that before I realized that it's all about me and the present moment. So the message here is that at some point you're going to have to get a life. The sooner the better. Hopefully you can do it before you're 40. That would be awesome. If one person watching this gets what I'm saying and it makes a connection, that'd be awesome. If you could do this in your 20s, you'd be unstoppable. I don't know. Hope that helps somebody.